Perfect.
So let's go ahead. We're gonna watch the cinematic. So Zoval, she shoots an arrow at him. Big surprise. It didn't do anything, because
Of course it didn't.
he's the fucking jailer and she's an elf. So Zoval.
She's not an
catches that
elf,
shit
she's
like a
undead.
wiffle ball, and he thinks it's funny, and so he gives her her soul back. All right, here we go.
Sylvanas' soul has been fractured.
Damn. That's
From the moment of her death until now.
Burn it! This
Burn it!
was their home. And you slaughtered all of them! How could you take all those innocent lives? This was beyond life and death.
Before we even continue, let me just tell you, dude, I wholeheartedly support Sylvanas' decision to burn down Teldrassil, dude. Listen, it was a fucking tree, alright? All of you night elves, y'all can go find another tree. You'll be fine, okay? You can go find another tree. It's that simple. There's plenty of trees. You can go find another one. Alright? Like, let's not make this that big of a drama. You can go find another tree. You'll be fine. It's not the end of the world.
There's no other path to true freedom. How can you not see that? I see what you are. Murderer, monster, butcher. Why can I not escape this torment?
People actually get upset over the fact that I make
I
fun
like
of
how
that,
they
by the
added
way.
actual characters for
It's
that.
a joke, relax.
And condemned her to endlessly relive her atrocities. So long as her soul remains divided, she cannot wake.
Maybe she shouldn't.
True.
One who knows
True.
the jailer's plan and how we might save Anduin.
She's the one that turned Anduin.
Jaina is right. How can we possibly trust her?
You can't.
Her wound runs so much.
I have to pause.
Okay.
Oh, okay. What's the logic here? That we're gonna trust Sylvanas or not? So, what are the pros and cons of not trusting Sylvanas? Well, you have to go up against basically a bald being with very
cares?
prominent nipples.
The nipples. The nipples is important.
Scale as Sargeras. So you're gonna lose, right? This is just like it's a guaranteed L. Like there's no way. I mean, he snapped his fucking fingers and wrapped up Jaina, Thrall, and Bolvar in a second. It wasn't even. He didn't even think about it because he's a fucking jailer, right? And that's other. Yeah, this is death with a capital D. So like, how the fuck do you think that you even have a chance without trusting Sylvanas? Like logically, like Sylvanas sucks. She's really bad, but it's obvious that you would have to trust her. So it's really
Listen,
like them getting mad about.
Here's how we know that we have a chance. All right. I think I'm probably going to mute the. I'm probably going to mute this because it's. I think you guys can still hear it a lot, and it's probably distracting from the video. So I'll just mute that. Wait, give me a second. I'm gonna put it in regular volume. And now I'll mute it. It's like, here's how you know you have a chance. Because you have Azerite champion, and you have closed the wounds, and you can use the Azerite to defeat the jailer. That's how you do it. You use the Azerite. By the way, pay no attention to my character's glam. Don't dare.
About it is it's just fan service. All right, here we go. This was cool. I like this.
I'm curious if I can use my second keyboard to pause.
This is
Like-
Sylvanas before she became a banshee,
Would this work?
and she's hot.
Well met, Ranger General.
Wait, it's in the wrong computer.
Yeah, dude.
What is this? Who are you?
Someone who shared your fate, felled by the blade of the very same prince.
How about like this?
Yeah, that guy.
Others. I died trying to stop that monster.
No, it doesn't work.
Only to wake
Oh
up
well.
haunted by one with my face.
That banshee is you.
No. I cannot accept that.
Her path began where yours ended. And you've seen the decisions she made.
Never!
Do you see how easy it is for Blizzard? Like, we've already watched this cutscene and I've already made a video on it, but do you see how easy it was for Blizzard to just straight up rewrite Sylvanas? It's like, yeah, the jailer made her do it. Literally every bad thing she's ever made, every subterfuge, every single bad thing that ever happened, the jailer made her do it, okay, guys? That's how it worked. The jailer, he's been around since Warcraft 3. Everybody knows it. I mean, you know, he's the guy who made the Frostmourne. He created Arthas. He did all, not even just Arthas. He created, like, probably Ner'zhul, I would imagine. Like, he did all the things. He's the biggest villain ever. It was the jailer. The jailer made her do it. So easy.
1,000 lifetimes would I betray everything I stood for.
If only I could be
You
so
can't
grossly
possibly
incandescent.
understand.
Frag 888, thank you very much for being grossing with us for 8 months. Tip of the hat. Appreciate the support. Thank you.
The jailer is deceptive.
It was the jailer. He's deceptively cunning.
I had become his pawn.
Yeah.
Nearly destroyed me. He had no doubts it would destroy you as well. Was he right? Or will you accept her shattered legacy and tell us how to stop him?
Her crimes are unforgivable.
Yes.
So it's pretty obvious that, like, in this is clearly foreshadowing Sylvanas is gonna die. Like, no shot she doesn't die. Like,
Really?
at the end of this story, she is 100% dead. I think so. And in my opinion, as I said, that was not my ideal ending. But if
I mean, if they don't kill her, they're going to have to basically redeem her, and she's done some pretty fucked up shit. She's done some pretty fucked up shit. Hey, Vendines, what's up? Jailer sounds like an ass.
they want to kill her, that's like a close second.
No. Actually, I can't let that one slide, Jay. I'm going to time you out for that comment. How the fuck dare you, dude? How dare you? No, I'm joking. I'm not going to time you out, but I completely disagree. Asians. Okay, I can't get into this because Endwalker, but
Like, the only
Asians,
thing
dude.
I didn't want to have happen was where they bring her back and they're like, oh, well, she didn't know what she was doing wrong, so nothing's her fault. So I feel like it's very clear that they're either going to, like, kill her, imprison her forever, some bullshit. I think what's going to happen is it's going to be some situation where Sylvanas sacrifices herself in some final redemption act in the last cinematic of the game, of Shadowlands. Like, I think this is what's going to happen.
I'm so sorry, Ava.
I must face the consequences.
Yes, you must, my child.
We cannot change the past, and we may never find forgiveness in the future. But inaction damns us all. Time is short, Ranger General. Make your choice.
So this was a cool idea of him being able to commune with her. So that's cool. At the end, it's definitely cool. Reminds me a little bit of the Jon Snow thing with whenever they found out who his mother was, right?
Wait.
I think it's cool to
Damn, he's got a lot of background noise. I was like, is that me? But no, there's a lot of background noise in the video.
see like Sylvanas as an elf and everything like that. Primarily because she's a lot hotter than what I would have expected. The cinematic quality in itself, like just like the way it looked and everything,
The
I
cinematic
think
quality
this
is pretty good.
definitely
Yeah.
better than what we've seen before with a lot of cinematics that are done with like in-game characters and in-game assets. So like there could be no dialogue in here at all, and I would still say this basically. It's basically where the dialogue comes in. That's where we have the problems. But if you want to look at the tangibles, it looks cool. The music's good. The cinematography's pretty good. All of that's totally fucking fine. So yeah, that's the way I see it. Anyway, yes, the tangibles. Now let's talk a little bit about the intangibles. We're gonna rewatch this, and I'm gonna kind of make comments on it throughout, and we're gonna talk about the different things.
I'm surprised that he made a 50-minute video out of this. It's insane.
Yeah, exactly. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good. Do you think the cinematic is cheaper to make than the ones they promote, the expansions? Yeah, I think it was obviously way cheaper. I think the expansion ones are 1,000 times better, though. Okay, here we go.
Until now.
I'm gonna be real. I actually prefer cinematics like this. I mean, I get it. The promotional materials and whatnot, the one with the very high detailed characters, it's all fine and dandy. But at the end of the day, I generally prefer like the in-game cinematics in both situations, because like Final Fantasy XIV has similar stuff like that, right? Because you also have like obviously the trailers, and the trailers are fantastic. I love the friggin' trailers, but I feel like in 14, one of the things that they do better is that, you know, you look at Alizé and it looks exactly like Alizé does in game. But you look, for instance, at Anduin in the WoW one, like in the promotional one, the high CG one, and it's like, that does not look like Anduin in game at all. Like, those are two different people. You look at Sylvanas, it's like, that does not look like Sylvanas. Like, I'm sorry. Like, sure, you can identify them through some features. It's like, hey, he's blonde, like Anduin. Must be Anduin. But that's about where it ends, because, like, the characters are extremely different. And I feel that in 14, they do a better job of conveying that. But ultimately, I much prefer having characters like this in a way where it's easier to relate to them in game. I don't know, it just adds to the immersion. That's my idea anyway.
So
Burn it!
Can you even watch these in game, or are these always just YouTube videos? I think you'll be able to watch this one in game. Not the CG ones though. The high CG ones are just videos.
This was beyond life and death. There was no other path to true freedom.
see, this is one thing that is annoying to me, right? Is the fact that with Sylvanas, she always talks about these grandiose ideas. You know, it's beyond life and death. It's beyond freedom, everything like that. Where the fuck does that leave us? What the fuck does that mean? Like, this is what I said before with the jailer, is that, like, really, aside from, like, oh, the jailer's evil and he wants to kill everybody, like, when has he really talked about it? When do we get to hear Zoval's side of the story here?
Jarval's floating balls.
How do we know that Zoval is really in the wrong?
Exactly.
You know about that? Like, he really, like, I mean, we never get to talk about him. We never get to talk to him. We're never like, man, like, so why the fuck did they put you in jail? Like, why are you in the
He had it
like,
coming.
What happened, right? Like, why are you pissed off about everybody? What's going on here? It's gonna be in the books. Yeah. How do we know that the jailer did anything wrong? Like, what if Zoval's trying to help us, and Sylvanas is right? Now, I still think it's shit character design with, like, what happened with Sarfang, right? Because she's just getting mad and being a bitch. So it's like, just, you know, it's like doing bad actions, you know, for a good cause kind of gets, you know, undercut whenever you just act like a bitch. But anyway, so we don't even really know why Zoval is bad. We don't know why he's on the wrong side of things, why he's chained up. We got no fucking idea. And that's what's really frustrating to me about the whole thing, is that we have this villain. Now we're over a year into the expansion. I don't know, I think it's been probably like a year, and we still don't really know what his true motives are. It's like, you understand, like, this is his story, and like, we know about this much of it. It's nothing. So that's about it. Zoval is a great...
it's gonna be in the book. You just gotta buy the book. Like, you guys don't get it. Seriously, you guys just don't understand.
Value Thanos. Zoval is a Thanos with no voice lines. That's what I've said before. So
Thanos
anyway,
with no voice lines.
Ranger General Sylvanas. So good Sylvanas arguing with bad Sylvanas.
Is
now,
my fairy
this
out?
is what really frustrates me about this whole thing, is the fact that the story in here and this whole thing, it effectively undercuts all of the lore and all of the character development Sylvanas has gone throughout the entirety of World of Warcraft and Warcraft 3. So, like, a good example of this is like this right here. I want to go ahead and go over to this point.
Met, Ranger General.
What is this? Who are you?
Someone who shared your fate, felled by the blade of the very same prince.
He's a king now?
Others. I died trying to
Was a king.
You got your ass beat.
only to wake up haunted by one with my face.
Which is not true. That's not what happened. Like, am I remembering this wrong? Or am I remembering it right? That in Warcraft 3, Sylvanas gets resurrected as a banshee, and she, on her own accord, finds her old body because she was so fucking vain that she would apparently in the story put on makeup to go to war. So why is she upset that she has her own body when that was literally the first thing that she did in Warcraft 3? Like, see what I'm saying? So okay.
I actually wasn't aware of this.
Now,
I never paid too much attention to Warcraft.
I'm going to just assume. Okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to assume that the soul splitting and the good Sylvanas and the bad Sylvanas split happened at the moment that she was killed by Arthas, right? Like, I think that's what we can all assume. That's what we can all go with, right? Yeah. So the severing occurred whenever she was hit by Arthas, and this would make sense, right? Because Uther was never made a deal with by the jailer. He didn't really know who the fuck the jailer was, and he didn't really know until Devos told him in Bastion, as far as I know. So this implies that
Devos, that important character that if you actually played through the Shadowlands, all of a sudden she's evil, and there was actually no mention in the story that she was evil. But don't worry about it, because if you happen to be a part of the Kyrian Covenant and you played your Renown campaign for the next 2 weeks, they reveal to you the cutscene where Devos becomes evil after you've already seen her evil in an instance. You know, that type of continuity stuff that Blizzard really, you know, the polish that Blizzard really puts into their storytelling nowadays. That's a level of polish that you expect in this game. Like, when I realized that, I was like, dude, how the fuck am I supposed to give a crap about this character? No, there's no spoilers. We're talking about World of Warcraft. How the hell am I supposed to care about this character if you don't even care about this character, Blizzard? What the hell? I'm doing MSQ, Socks. You're safe for a while, at least.
him stabbing her with the sword.
How you doing, Socks?
Severed her soul and cut it in half. Her scar isn't even in the right place. It doesn't really matter. Who gives a fuck? It's not that big of a deal. So, yeah, Banshee Sylvanas was in control until now. But what I'm saying is that Banshee Sylvanas was not an entirely bad character. Like, that's what I think is so fucking stupid about this, is the fact that Sylvanas, the reason why Sylvanas was always such a great character is the fact that
it was the fact that she was a great character.
She was pragmatic, and she was absolutely merciless. Like, she was like one of the best female characters, really, in a lot of ways, that WoW had.
And I'm doing good, Socks. I'm doing okay. And it's just like, it really sucks that they basically stripped her of any agency in the game. Because, like, again, all of these things that Asmon is saying, that she's like, she was a character that, you know, as a female character, she had all of these great qualities. And they just stripped that away. And it's like, the bad man made her do it. Clearly that's what happened. It was the bad man. The bad man just justifies everything. The bald bad man with the nipples. He's the one. He's the big baddie. He's the only. As a matter of fact, I almost. It almost feels like if you really think back enough to everything that happened in WoW, it seems like the jailer is the only actual villain.
And
the old
the
gods
reason for
didn't
that
even do
is
anything
because
wrong at this point.
She would do terrible things. Absolutely horrible, terrible things. Like raising people as slaves to serve her, and if they wouldn't serve her, they
It was
would
the
kill
jailer.
themselves. All kinds of crazy, terrible stuff, right? But it was all for the general goal of protecting and taking care of the Forsaken. And it's very clear that the Forsaken have a value to Sylvanas because of what happened in the prelude to the Cataclysm. So back then, Garrosh, we all know Garrosh, the asshole, wanted Sylvanas to throw her Forsaken at the wall of Greymane to siege Gilneas. And Sylvanas would not fucking do it because she's like, well, I don't want to have all my people killed. So at that point, I think it's a very, very good possibility. It's almost guaranteed. And this was supposed to be a point that indicated that Sylvanas did actually have
Her human
care
side,
for
yeah.
her people, for the Forsaken. Because up until
Which, according to what they're saying, like supposedly the Frostmourne stabbing takes all the good away from you, you know, like the good parts of your soul, and just all that's left is like the evil part of her soul, kind of.
Till then, Sylvanas was always kind of doing her own thing. And the truth is that this Forsaken shouldn't even be in the fucking Horde to begin with. And
Mr. Gold feels a bit low.
In the quests, whenever you play Undead,
There.
that the Forsaken
That
are
should-
only in the
that should be
Horde
better.
because it's convenient for them. And I think that is the best example of Sylvanas being a pragmatic but good leader, because she did what they needed to do to protect her people. And that is what makes her such a great character, is a character
What
that
made
does
her such a great
really
character?
terrible things,
Past tense.
morally gray things, let's just say that, and at the same time she's doing those things to help the people that that are basically her charges, right? These are the people that she is you know, she's taking care of. You see kind of what I'm saying? So this is why the character was so good. This is why Sylvanas was such a great character, is that Sylvanas would do literally anything to protect her people. It didn't matter if it was blowing up Lordaeron to kill a bunch of people. It didn't matter what she was going to do, poisoning people, killing everybody. There was nothing that she would do or she would not do to save and help her people. So that's what made her character compelling, is that an absolute, complete, ruthless businesswoman. You see what I'm saying? And then she betrayed them, right? So and this is what's really weird to me about it, because you clearly have, there could have been a second time, and this is what is indicated in the story. There could have been a second time where Sylvanas turns to the dark side. When is that second time? It's obvious.
When she jumps
it's
off
after
the
she kills
ICC.
herself at the end of ICC, at the end of Wrath of the Lich King. So let's assume that everything that she did after death, yes, so let's assume that's the case, then why would she be trying to protect the Forsaken? Why would she be doing other positive things? Why would she be trying to help the Horde and doing other things like that? Was this some kind of massive long con? I don't think so. As she cared for the Forsaken, why did she kill them? She didn't necessarily care for the Forsaken. She raised them into undeath to give them a second chance at life, and if they didn't want it, they could kill themselves, and if they did, they could serve her, right? So it's basically like her idea of giving people the choice that she never had, I guess. And again, like, this is, I think that's really interesting. Like, that's really, really interesting and really, really good. That's brilliant, in my opinion. Yes, consensual necromancy. Like, because like there are very, very few stories that really deal in that, and I think it's great.
Consensual necromancy. I'm just gonna raise you. Hey, you like being an undead? Not so much. Okay, you can kill yourself then. Consensual necromancy. That's good.
And she cared for the Horde too. Yes, to an extent. The idea that, okay, well, she just went and as soon as she talked to the jailer, she decided to be evil. Well, she did plenty of positive things after Wrath of the Lich King. That's why so many people have always liked Sylvanas.
You ever played WoW Sucks?
There's a lot of girls that like Sylvanas, so it's
I
not
guess
just
not.
Coomers that like Sylvanas, although they are definitely, there are a lot of them. So,
You're better off,
man,
Sucks.
could it be
Sorry to say.
Zobal's domination magic changing her? So this is what I'm really saying. So what is the implication with this story? The implication with this story is that the moment that she was stabbed by Arthas, she then became basically Zoval's pawn. And this is exactly what do you call it? Let me see what he...
You call it a retcon.
This is what Uther says.
The jailer is deceptively cunning. When I realized I had become his pawn, it nearly destroyed me.
Here's another thing about this, by the way. When I realized I had become his pawn, it nearly destroyed me. It's like Uther never even had direct contact with the jailer. Sylvanas had been talking with the jailer for a long time. Sylvanas worked for the jailer. How could she have never realized that she was serving the jailer? I will never serve, except for these past couple of years where I've been serving. But besides that, I'll never serve.
So she did serve, by the way. So basically, what does this imply? This implies that by stabbing herself, or by stabbing somebody with Frostmourne, it gave the jailer a window into severing their soul, and it gave them control over the bad part of their soul, right? I think this is clearly what is implied. Am I right? Yes, that's what I was thinking too. Yes, I think this is clearly what is being implied. How is he cunning? I don't ever see him do anything like that ever. The jailer is cunning because things in the story happen, and then later on Blizzard says it's because of the jailer. That's why he's cunning. He's so cunning, even the developers and the writers don't know what his motives are or what he's trying to do. Same like Sylvanas.
No.
The jailer is cunning because Blizzard said he's cunning. That's right.
Exactly.
And so what does this really mean? And I want to talk about why this cinematic, why I really...
You guys want to know one of the things that Blizzard storytellers have never learned? Is that when it comes to a good story in a video game, it's all about show, don't tell. Show me. Don't tell me. Show me. And Blizzard's like, no, let me tell you about the story. It's like, no, show me. No, I'll tell you about it. I don't
like the cinematic.
In this book.
Is because this cinematic completely removes all of Sylvanas' agency.
Actually, Nayo Wayo, you may have a good point. Guys, maybe the problem is that Steve Denuser was also enslaved by the jailer. You didn't see that one coming. The jailer also fragmented Steve Denuser's soul. He split his soul in two and forced Steve Denuser just like, no, I'm going to be the most powerful entity in the World of Warcraft universe. And there you go. That explains everything.
Every single thing that she did that was good or bad in World of Warcraft as a whole is now completely undercut by the fact that it could have just been the jailer. You see what I'm saying? So
it was the jailer.
This is what happened, right? She's mind controlled, but she's not mind controlled, and she knows she's being mind controlled, but sometimes she's not mind controlled, but basically whenever she does anything that's bad, she's mind controlled, and whenever she's not doing something bad, she's not mind controlled. So yes, leave it to Blizzard to take agency away from...
Listen, the jailer is just a MacGuffin with nipples, all right? That's all you need to know. It's a bald MacGuffin with nipples.
From another female. This is fucking ridiculous, man.
Consensual mind control.
This is so fucking garbage. I can't believe it. Like, you take one of the best characters in the whole story, and you say every cunning and deceptive and brilliant thing that you've done is completely because of some bald fucking moron with predominant nipples that's actually pulling the strings in the background that nobody knew about. He's actually so smart. And then, like, if he's so smart, why the fuck would he tell Sylvanas? You see what I'm saying? So, like, what's the logic in here? So he sees that Sylvanas, and also, how could she have betrayed him at the end of the fucking Sanctum of Domination?
And she was mind controlled.
If she was being controlled literally by him, unless he let it happen. And if he let it happen by giving her her soul back, then what fucking chance does it make? Because he would know exactly what we were going to do, because he would know what he told her, which would mean that she would tell us what he told her, which means that he would know what we're going to do. How the
Okay. Yeah, sure. Exactly. KP the PK, Ruri, I really want to start 14, but what I'm afraid of is ironically the MMO aspect of it. Can you talk more about the solo aspect of the game? Would I enjoy the game as a whole story/combat if all I want is a solo experience? Yes. You will have to team up with players at certain points to do dungeons and instances, even though like in Shadowbringers and Endwalker, you can do most of those with trusts. But, and trusts are basically NPC, so you can do everything by yourself. But yeah, I believe that the story is worth it, even if you end up not engaging in the MMO side of it. And you know, just so that it's not me saying it, someone who has only recently started playing the game, I don't know if he's still in here, Socks, you can ask him. He's currently going through either Stormblood or he just arrived in Shadowbringers, and Socks can tell you how he feels about it. He's pretty much been playing the game by himself as far as I'm aware. So yeah, it is very much worth it to just play it by yourself if that's what you want to do. The story is good enough to stand on its own without you investing time into the MMO side of the game. No busy, let me lurk. Okay, never mind. Socks is not going to tell you anything.
fuck is he gonna lose?
Just tell him yes.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Socks, this person was asking whether or not I think that Final Fantasy XIV is worth playing as a solo player, just for like the story and the solo aspects without actually engaging in the MMO aspects. And I was like, well, as someone who just recently started playing, I feel like Socks would be the perfect person to answer this question. There you go. There's your answer. Yes.
4D, yeah, it's four-dimensional chess. Oh my god, he wants
No,
a
it's
challenge?
5-dimensional chess.
But, okay, I have to show you this, okay? Look. Look at
Socks,
this.
you can DM me
Okay?
whenever you feel
Look.
lonely. So long
We
as
will
I'm online.
stop you. Wait, is this it? Okay, so this is the guy that they want to stop, okay? Let's look at him. All right? You gonna stop him? Probably not.
But he covered his nipples. He's not as powerful anymore.
Okay, all right. So, fucking. Okay, like, what do you? Like, what chance do you have against this guy? I mean, really, like,
Dude,
what are you kidding me? Like,
Can
this
we
is the
also
Lich King.
can we also briefly touch up on how they did Bolvar dirty throughout this whole time? They fucking bury Bolvar, one of the greatest heroes of the Alliance. They fucking bury him at the end of Wrath of the Lich King, which was the last good World of Warcraft expansion. They bury his ass into the fucking ice, and after burying him, they dig him up to get beat up by Sylvanas, not contribute almost anything of worth throughout the entirety of the Shadowlands, and then what does he do? He shows up in front of the jailer, he gets beat up again. That's what he does. Bolvar Fordragon, professional Blizzard bitch. That's what he does. He just shows up, gets his ass beat, and then he steps out, exits stage left.
Jaina, who's one of the most powerful fucking wizards in a mage.
No, I'm actually curious. Those of you, I don't know if anybody here played Shadowlands for longer than I did. Did you see Bolvar Fordragon, Hero of the Alliance, do anything worth a damn from the moment that he took a beating from Sylvanas? Did he do literally one thing throughout that entire quest line? throughout all the different renowns and the different covenants? Did he do like one thing? He was standing around a lot. Yeah, I remember him standing around in Oribos a lot. He just like stood there. He's like, I have the power of the Lich King. I'm going to do absolutely fucking nothing with it. He talked a few times. Yeah, exactly. Bolvar Fordragon, hero of the Alliance. That would be in line with, like, imagine Thancred just being a bitch the whole goddamn game. Imagine Thancred in Final Fantasy XIV just being the biggest bitch the entirety of the game. That's what Bolvar Fordragon is. Oh yeah, and Bane. Bane got shafted too. Bane Bloodhoof, hero of the Horde, sitting down, scratches his ass every now and then. That's about it. That's about it, dude. Two of the greatest heroes of the Alliance and the Horde. Couple of bitches. Wow, spoilers. Yeah, dude, about that.
Is in all of Azeroth, Thrall, who is canonically the strongest shaman of all time, and the literal Lich King.
The way is open, Zovor!
At least Thrall's done stuff, you know?
We need.
I do the Maker's flawed design. I will forge a new reality where all shall serve.
I will never serve. Not to mention, please explain to me the this is another one of those things. Somebody please explain to me the logic behind this action in this cinematic. Like, here's the thing. Like, even if we take the pill and we swallow the writer's pill, saying that, like, hey, the bad man made her do it. She didn't know what she was doing. She's finally realized the consequences of her actions or whatever. She's finally realized that she's been serving. She finally realized it. Okay? Sure thing. Okay. Why in the actual hell did she just pull out her bow and try to shoot the jailer with an arrow that, for all intents and purposes, was like some kind of enchanted arrow with the jailer's power? Because what people told me when the time came to justify the fact that, oh, Sylvanas just beat the crap out of the Lich King. Yeah, she's using the jailer's power. Okay, that means those purple arrows that she shot at, the Lich King, those were the jailer's powers. So you're shooting the jailer with his own power. I think at least a normal arrow would probably be more effective. Effectively, what she's doing is she's throwing a fireball into a massive, just like a massive fire. Like there's a building on fire or there's a fire elemental and she just hurled a fireball at it. What's that supposed to do? That doesn't even make any logical sense, let alone the fact that she decided to attack him like she had an inkling of a chance. The man who basically completely mind-fucked and manipulated her, mind-fucked and manipulated Anduin, like one of the most powerful entities in World of Warcraft. She hears the words, "You will serve," and she's like, nope. It's like, what? At least be a little cunning about it. Like, here's the thing. There's actually a way to do this, and that way would be Sylvanas realizing it. It still wouldn't make a goddamn sense, but it would make more sense. She would realize it, and she would take action in time. But no, it's just like, well, we need to shoot an arrow into we need her to switch sides. This was literally the writers going, we just need this character to switch sides at this exact moment, so she's just going to shoot an arrow at the jailer for shits and giggles. She's LARPing? Yeah. She's doing something.
Meanwhile, this was gonna kill. This killed Bolvar. This dude catches her arrow right out of the fucking air like this was some kind of wiffle ball. Like, this is like a 3-year-old throwing you a ping pong ball.
She didn't kill Bolvar.
And she thinks that this is
Defeated
I'm
Bolvar.
working with the jailer. Bitch, you're not working with the jailer. He's a god. This is like, that's why I said, like, it's like the fucking people that are going around talking about how they're I'm a partner at Walmart. No, you're not a partner at Walmart. You are a cashier at Walmart. You work for Walmart. You're not a partner with Walmart. Like, this is like Sylvanas is a cashier. She's a middle manager at a Walmart. And this guy's Sam Walton. Like, what the fuck? It's just so delusional. Maybe we only win after it changes the reality. Brings me back to my original question. Who was Sylvanas this whole time?
Yeah.
And this is what I'm saying. So at
Who
this
was
point,
Sylvanas?
right? At this point in the cinematic,
Gets an A for effort?
Sylvanas is under the jailer's
Not
control.
really.
Because if she wasn't under the jailer's control, then why the fuck was she doing all the bad stuff that she didn't want to be doing? You see what I'm saying? So why the fuck did that happen?
Because it needed to.
We just beat some sense into her? But we didn't. She didn't even lose. Like, that's the thing, is she didn't lose here at all. The jailer won. Sylvanas didn't lose the fight in Sanctum of Domination. She was losing, but Zoval came in and fucking just took care of things. It didn't matter. So then let's look at what happened here. Here is what I am assuming will happen. And I want to put all this together. Yeah, here we go. All right.
Cinematic? I find your spirit unworthy.
Okay. So
I'd forgotten about that because he just is crushing. Dumb cow. That's about the extent of what Bane did the whole expansion. He got discarded by the jailer. He just got discarded by the jailer. There you go. Here's your cow, Horde.
this is what I think is going to happen. I'll explain why.
Jailer looked at him and he's like, this would not provide sufficient
Thanks for
sustenance.
answering my question earlier about FF14. I look forward to giving it a shot. Very glad to see you're back. Take it easy and hope for a speedy recovery. Can't wait for your Elden Ring coverage.
KP the PK, thank you very much for being grossing with us for 2 months. Tip of the hat. Appreciate the support, dude. Thank you. And I'm glad you're going to give it a shot, dude. It's going to be worth it. Just be wary of the fact that there's massive queue times right now because of the new expansion. So
If only
yeah,
I
trial
could be so grossly
is a
incandescent.
hard path right now unless you're playing like early in the morning or super late in the evening. Doubly Peregrine, thank you very much for becoming grossly incandescent. Tip of the hat. Appreciate the support. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I think this is going to happen after I show you this cinematic.
Nothing escapes the law. Yield to the inevitable.
Yield to the inevitable.
They've stopped their advance.
Again, you know, like the most powerful champions of Azeroth, just
Worthless.
Yep, they're just getting jailed. And this is like an AoE attack, right? It's not even, this is like, you know, a charged up, you know, like a casted 3-second chaos bolt. Nah, bro, this is just like an arcane explosion.
The light is with me. Even here.
Dun, 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 dun,
So he's able to
dun, dun.
protect this from the jailer's attack.
Go, champion! Go!
That dude's playing a troll.
So it's very clear that Anduin has some sort of like divine power, and that's clearly why Zoval wanted to control him, and I think that's also why he's able to temporarily at certain points break free of Zoval's control. That's what I think is going to happen. And this is what I don't know why Anduin has this power, what the point is of it, or anything like that. But it also seems like it's really not that it's not that impressive, right? I mean, just moved his hand again, and you know, things are pretty much settled down. So he's the chosen one. He's a paladin. Well, yeah, he popped his bubble, did a little shattering throw. So he's really just really into the light. Well, the thing is, like, I always assume, so this is like a couple of different endings that I thought the story was going to have. I had semi-assumed that Elune would try to stop the jailer based off of Elune would succeed in stopping the jailer. And this would happen because of the cinematic between the Winter Queen and Elune. I thought this would happen. So maybe Elune is empowering Anduin, but this is like just a random fucking guess. Like, what do I know? You see what I'm saying? So like, yeah, I have no idea. The Elune thing. And then they'll ruin the Elune character. Yes, exactly. What happens to the jailer if he's hit by Frostmourne? I don't know. He probably has to put on a band-aid or something. Like, that's about it. So yeah, Tyrion thought the light would save him too, and Gul'dan laughs. Well, Gul'dan didn't even kill Tyrion. Tyrion got killed by like a middle of the raid tier boss. Yeah, that's about it, man. Turns out Elune is actually the jailer and Tyrande is his pawn too. Honestly, I think that would be kind of interesting, but they would probably mess that up. Like, it could sound cool, but it probably wouldn't be cool. So do you see what I'm saying, right? Is like, so Anduin, this is why Anduin is the key to whatever Sylvanas' plan is, and this is why the jailer is using Anduin as a pawn, and I think this is what's going to happen, right? So it was Croesus in the Nighthold. Do you see kind of what I'm saying here? How like these things I feel like fit together. Story smoked a bit much. Yes. Well, we're going to find out. Yes, we are indeed going to find out. Didn't he use Anduin to get into the Kyrians' territory? He used Anduin as a Trojan horse, yeah, pretty much. But I don't think he really used Anduin per se because it was Anduin himself. It's just because he was the king of the Alliance, right? If Turalyon or Varian was there, he would have done the exact same thing. At that point, I don't think it really would have mattered. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. And I want to go back here, and I'm going to go and read the rest of this, okay? Because obviously I went through this. This is going to be a lot to talk about, okay, guys?
Has severed their bond and condemned
so he clearly severed their bond. How did he sever their bond? It's pretty obvious.
He keeps having some USB thing going off.
So this is clearly how he severed their bond. He crushed it, and he smashed it, whatever you want to say, and then he gave Sylvanas her soul back.
Why would he free her after all of that? That's another thing. Why? She's going to prove to be the instrument of his demise at the end of the day, which is also ridiculous. Dude needs to fix whatever that missed USB is.
Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna be able to stop him. Oh yeah, we'll be able to take care of this situation, no problem. Absolutely. So basically, yeah, we are. Yeah, I swear to God, this is what. So this is. What are the possible end? Actually, let's talk about this, and I'll talk about the possible endings of what I think is going to happen with the war. Okay?
To endlessly relive.
What war are we talking about? The war against the jailer?
So long as her soul remains.
Which makes no sense. Why?
It's not really a big war.
Like maybe because he's an asshole. Like what? And it's so long as her soul
divided, she cannot wake.
Maybe she shouldn't.
She's the only
That was Bane's
so
contribution right there.
The
Maybe she shouldn't.
Here is that she can't wake up, and then Uther goes into her soul and allows her to some degree find peace with the fact that she did all these bad things, and then she wakes up, right? Like that's clearly what the implication here is, which I guess that's okay.
she
Sure.
shouldn't.
She's the only one who knows the jailer's plan and how we might save.
Again, it's just the writers going like, we need her to trade sides. We want
Which
to
just
redeem
seems like,
her
this is
because
what's
she's
silly
one of
to
our
me
cool
about it,
characters.
Is how the fuck does Bolvar know that she's the only one that knows his plan? Number two, why the fuck
That's a good
would he
question.
tell her and then let her live?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, this is a master tactician. You know, this
10D
cunning,
chess.
like, even in this, like, I
5
didn't
head.
say he was cunning. The
10 head.
Wizard said.
50 head.
You know, they said this guy is deceptively cunning. Do you see what I'm saying? Bolvar is level 80? Yeah.
Bolvar is
you
like
see what I'm
level
saying, right? Only
999
leaving the
at
biggest
this
loose
point.
ends. So why would the jailer, if Sylvanas was the only person that knew his plan, why would he leave her alive? I don't think she was mind controlled at all. She lost her soul whenever Arthas killed her, so everything she's done as a banshee has still been her own doing, just without a soul. Whenever she got her soul back from the jailer, the conflict started within her as seen in the new cinematic. Well, if it was still all her own doing, then basically, like, I feel like that's just such bad... But there were good things that Sylvanas did while she was in World of Warcraft. Not necessarily, like, morally good things, but positive things that generally helped everybody, right? Like
Things
helping
that were
Varian,
consistent for a
grouping up,
character of her
helping the
nature.
Horde, helping the Forsaken, looking out for them on...
Yeah, she actually for a while, and when the writers still gave a crap about, you know, the story making any goddamn sense, she took actions which were not just blatantly evil and actually made sense based on, you know, the character that she was. But now it's just more like, hey, you know, we need to kind of like redeem her. How? I don't know. Let's just have her shoot an arrow at the jailer, you know, as a rebellious act. She figured out that she was being conned by the jailer, and she decides to try and kill him using his own power, just like throwing gasoline into a fire. Yeah.
Their own.
Sure.
There were a number of things that Sylvanas did do that painted her in a positive light. So it's not like Sylvanas is just inside of Warcraft a terrible character and an evil person. Wrath of the Lich King, Wrathgate. Well, she, as far as I know, wasn't Sylvanas not involved with the Wrathgate? It was that it started with an A, a Pyrrhus or some kind of fucking bullshit, and then it was Balnazar. Like, yeah, Varimathras, Putris. So that's not even really, Putricide rebelled. She strung the Thanos along without letting him hit it, so she's soulless. How do you know he didn't get to hit it? Like, I would assume that he did.
I
She's
don't know
to
about
kill her
that.
sisters, but stopped herself. Yeah. So there were a number of times where Sylvanas was going to do bad things and either restrained herself or did not do those things or did something that was positive for people instead. So what I'm saying here is that there are a lot of cases that Sylvanas is not a morally evil character inside of World of Warcraft. A unilaterally morally evil character.
Cunning. When I realized
So let's go ahead. We're going to go back here. She's the one that turned Anduin, which is that's just stupid. Like, it's just so stupid. Like, why would she need to turn Anduin? What the fuck? Like, when did this even happen?
Jaina is right.
The characters think that?
Thousand Maws of Tatarak is amazing when I'm watching the video.
I will.
her wound
I'll let that one go.
so much deeper than mine.
So the deeper it goes, the more
This
shattered
part
the
was
soul
good.
becomes.
I thought this was interesting.
Phil
So Arthas kills her, severs her soul.
is you. Her path began where yours ended.
So, like, in that, this clearly means that as soon as Arthas stabbed Sylvanas, Sylvanas was working for the jailer, right? Like, is there anybody who can read that a different way? Like, I feel like that's the only way you can read it. Are spoilers allowed? I mean, I would hope so. No, that makes sense. Yeah, exactly. Oh, wow. She lost all empathy and respect for her life once Arthas stabbed her, yes. Well, no, she didn't lose all empathy and respect for her
Because
life,
she took
because
actions
that's
to
the whole
protect
reason why she
the
wanted
Forsaken.
to live after she discovered the oblivion of death, and that's why she made the pact with the Valkyries after Warcraft 3. And also, you could see her get visibly upset at Anduin. Is it this one here? Visibly upset at Anduin because Anduin brought up having a choice of who you care about, and she was either thinking about Nathanos or some other guy that she liked. You see what I mean? So, like, there's no... Speaking of Nathanos, where is he? He's still in the cuck shed. It's behind Torghast. It's on layer 17. You don't want to go there.
No.
Nathanos is the jailer. Yes, of course.
I think that makes sense. Yeah, Nathanos is the actual jailer. Yeah, that about sounds.
So
that
this
sounds
very
about right.
clearly implies that, like, because this Sylvanas would not burn down the tree. This Sylvanas would not do a lot of the other crazy shit that the other Sylvanas did.
In
I
a
don't know about
thousand
that.
lifetimes,
What's up, Andy?
would I betray everything I stood for? You can't possibly understand.
The jailer is deceptively cunning.
Yep,
When I realized
very
I
cunning.
had become his pawn,
Master of cunning,
he
cunnilingus.
destroyed me. He had no doubts it would destroy you as well.
The jailer is very cunty.
Was he right?
I'm sorry.
Or will you accept her
I'm salty.
shattered legacy and tell us how to stop him?
Her crimes are unforgivable.
Yes.
Are they?
What I think would be really stupid is if, like, we just randomly kill Sylvanas, like we execute her after Shadowlands. Like, I think that would just be so dumb. Like, I'm sorry, it would just be so dumb.
Just kill her off.
I would
put her
like
down like a
that, but
rabid
like
dog.
it seems weird for that to happen. As like a
No.
narrative, like I think it just sounds weird. No, she'll help us.
She's gonna
rebuild.
be
She
put-
would
she's
accept
gonna
it
be
too.
put on
Yeah,
trial.
It would just it's weird.
She's gonna be put on trial
Why
like
even do that?
Garrosh, was it?
Why suddenly accept
Then
it?
she's
as if
gonna
they're
get
her
away.
crimes as well. Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like, why does she even accept it at all?
The Forsaken shall rise again.
She didn't do it. Uther's literally there to back her up. Be like, yeah, this is not what I didn't do this shit.
And she
It seems like they wrote themselves into a corner
must face the consequences.
with this
Which
character.
doesn't make any fucking sense. This Sylvanas didn't do anything wrong. She never did anything wrong. Like, she was defending her homeland,
no.
and Arthas killed her. That's it. That's the entire fucking story.
We cannot change the past, and we may never find forgiveness in the future. But inaction damns us all. Time is short, Ranger General. Make your choice.
That's what that's actually what Anduin said to Sylvanas and the other cinematic too. So blames himself. It's terribly explained. It's not terribly explained. I understand it. It's just stupid. Yes,
Yeah.
I understand what's happening. I just think that if you understand it, it makes it worse, not better. So, what do I think about the cinematic? We're going to look at another one. I think there's a second cinematic here somewhere. And it's very clear that, like, right here, she has her, she's got, like, her eyes back. She's got her armor on. It's very clear that they decide to work with Sylvanas because she has her armor back on. And this is, they're clearly going to do that. Let's look at the other stuff, right? So that's Sylvanas.
She doesn't have red eyes anymore.
As an elf. Reforging Helm. Okay, here we go. This is the other cinematic. And this also kind of, this throws away the theory that I had about Sylvanas being the new Lich King. I don't really know. They could just make another one, right? But like that, this kind of throws it away. So we're going to watch this other one here. Is the Primus, who's the one who made Frostmourne.
Oh, Primus is the one who
Helm
made
of
Frostmourne?
Domination. We know what that is.
I didn't even know that. Oh, look at that. He's reforging the Helm of Domination.
With the strength of those who defied domination. That which sought to bind us will be made anew.
I need to learn more about the Primus if I care about this. Ooh. Oh, the player gets the Crown of Wills?
I'm sorry, but like the helmet from like the Mythic set from
I hadn't seen this one yet. What the actual fuck? Why is there a cross in the video? Because it's data mined. It's so that people know that it's data mined. At least I think that's why that cross is there. I don't know any other reason why they would put that cross there, but I think it's because it's to identify that it's a data mined video. Oh my god, dude, that's so incredibly dumb. That is so incredibly dumb. They just transformed the Lich King's helmet into this crown, and now it's like, hey, here we go. Blizzard has no respect for its characters, its story, its players. It's just like when you went, hey, Blizzard, where's your respect? They're like, error 404, respect not found. Are you looking for engagement?
Tomb of Sargeras for Paladins is way cooler, man. Like, I have a Crown of Wills. There we go. Alright. So now I'm the new anti-Lich King. And this is pretty much where we're at. Yeah, it's the Burger King crown. Yes, exactly. Thank God. Yes.
Oh,
now
no.
we've come full circle. It's literally Mentor crown. And it's placeholder or something. I don't think this is placeholder, man. I really don't. But I have to say that, like, imagine how fucking cool the Lich King's helmet could look if they remade it as like look at like my Warrior's gear, for example. Like the helmet from this set would look fucking badass if it was made as like a holy replica or something like that. It would look so fucking cool. And I remember like somebody did like fan art of like Illidan as a if he was actually like taken the empowered by the Naru. Let me see. White version. Let's see here. Yeah. This is like basically what it would be, and like this would look pretty fucking cool. Like I would definitely.
It's just a halo.
This would look really fucking badass. And obviously, I'm glad that they didn't do it, but I think it would have looked really, really cool. Yeah, Super Saiyan Illidan.
He's talking
that looks
about
way cool. Yeah, it looks fucking awesome. So like the idea of like evil being fucking taken over and subverted and turned into good would have been so much better than this piece of shit. What the fuck? This looks like a quest reward, man. We're gonna go ahead covering our data.
It's
mine
like
dial.
it's like a quest green from fucking.
And again, this is a
from
huge spoiler
the first
video,
zone
so,
of the Burning Crusade.
If you don't want spoilers, you're probably already mad. So who gives a fuck? But there's gonna be more of them here. For 9.2 PTR, we've data mined some of the voice lines from the Primus and Bolvar. However, the exact context of the voice lines is unknown, but at least one of the voice lines makes it clear. There's a fade to the jailer. Okay, here we go.
Imbued with the strength of those who
Right.
defied domination. Behold, the crown of wills. That which sought to bind us will be made anew.
The jailer. He who tormented so many. Who long ago set in motion the plague of undeath on our world. has finally been destroyed.
There it is.
The jailer's been destroyed. So this super mega villain did all of these things for millennia. They finally found him. They off him. There you go. Boom, done. Ended.
Well, we got him. You know, I mean, I was worried. It's a bait. I hope so much that it's a bait. I really do. But when was the last time we had something like that happen?
Yeah.
When was the last time that we had something
Blizzard
like
are not the masturbators that they used to be.
Never. It's never happened before. So,
Actually. Never mind. Blizzard are definitely the masturbators they've always been. Just not the pun that I was trying to make, like just the actual word masturbation. Yeah. Just that.
The Crown of Willis? What you talking about? Yeah.
Crown of Willis.
No way it's last boss, because 3 last boss delay makes no sense. No, it has to make sense, because it's very obvious that like Anduin is going to be what I am assuming is going to happen is Anduin is the key to allowing the light into Zareth Mortis, or the Sepulchre of the First Ones, and rebuking and destroying the jailer. That's what I think is going to happen. And Anduin will be the conduit for that. Anduin will not destroy the jailer. It'll be more like how Denathrius was not really destroyed by that Naru. Denathrius was just destroyed by the light. I think that's kind of what would happen. How? That's
Crown
what I
of
think
Willy
will happen.
Billy.
So this is what I don't like about the split souls thing. The reason why I don't like the idea of split souls is the fact that it gives the writers complete fucking they can say and do whatever they want with the story. They can say, you know what, it's complete amnesty, complete carte blanche. Yeah,
it's like I said, it's a MacGuffin. The jailer is just a bald MacGuffin with nipples.
They can immediately retcon out of the character's behavior later on by saying it was the evil part of their soul. Oh, this was the evil soul. Oh wow, this was the evil soul. Oh, give me a fucking break, man. Come on, the devil made me do it. Yeah, that's the fucking point. I think it's terrible. It's terrible, like, because the reason why it's terrible. So there were people on Twitter. By people, I mean like literally 2 people. But somebody on Twitter said, well, this is what they did with Varian. Because you guys remember, back in Vanilla WoW, Varian's soul was like duplicated, split, whatever you want to call it, and they had evil Varian who was Logosh, this gladiator, and Logosh, this is what I remember, doesn't remember anything that happened, right? Like he has no memories of being the king of Stormwind. Yeah, like he didn't remember anything. Anexia, yeah, he didn't remember shit. So with Sylvanas remembered everything that happened, right? Whenever she was doing all the bad stuff, there was never a point that the person watching would know that Sylvanas was I feel like I'm playing New World. Sylvanas was being duped, right? Or not, this is the bad dupe, and we've got the good dupe instead.
Oh, no.
And the good dupe's doing all the good things, the bad dupe's doing the bad things.
Sylvanas
Shell's
was
experience led
duped.
to her decisions that made her as an undead. Right, which is a difference between Varian. You see what I'm saying? So like with Varian, whenever he was Logosh, he had no memories, and all of this happened, and the audience knew that it was happening. The audience knew that Varian was split in 2 and he didn't have his memories. This, what it seems like to me, is a ham-fisted, last-minute decision to completely invalidate all of Sylvanas' character development inside of World of Warcraft, throws all of that in the garbage. It allows them a plot device to retcon with amnesty anything that they don't want the character to be accountable for doing. And it just allows them to change the story and tell players that, oh, actually, the character that you liked and thought was really interesting and cool, yeah, turns out that was the jailer. It's like you're tricking the audience. Show the YouTube
It's
comments.
not like you're tricking the audience.
Sure.
You are tricking the
Thanks to the art
audience.
team for carrying the entire Warcraft universe on their shoulders, true and real. The Green Goblin did it. It itself was good. Story, though, purely in-game perspective. How are we supposed to know about this inner struggle? Is it explained in the books?
Of
As
course
I
it's
said,
explained in the books.
I think this is like the ideal ending for me. What would, like, with everything in play, everything happening, what would be my ideal ending of 9.2? The ideal ending for me is that the jailer knew that she would bring everybody to him at the very end. And the dude pulls out a TV. The jailer pulls out a TV and he says, because you remember at the beginning of the Shadowlands, where you have to convince the Kyrian that you're not dead, and they insist that you are dead. What if they weren't wrong? What if the jailer fucking snaps his fingers, shows a flashback, and it turns out that N'Zoth killed fucking everybody, and we're all in the Shadowlands? You see what I'm saying? Like, that could be a totally that could totally flip things over. That is, in my opinion, the best ending that I can think of.
No. No, actually, I don't even know, dude. I don't even know. To be honest, like, the thing that I even wanted was even worse, which is just like Blizzard, just like, listen, just delete everything that happened after Wrath of the Lich King and then start over from there. It's like, all the things that happened after that, just delete them and start over from Wrath. Like, listen, you know, when you do Wrath of the Lich King Classic, just forget the main WoW exists and just carry forward from there. There you go. Boom, done.